Hi, hello, and maybe even welcome back to a new video. It's Gina here, and welcome to my art corner. For today, I have a little bit more relaxing kind of video. It's a sketch, and I really tried my best to record myself sketching. I often tend to not, like when I sketch traditionally, I mostly don't really show you guys. It's kind of like I don't know. It's especially if it's my original character, but right now, as you can guess from the title, it's a Game of Thrones character, and I won't actually tell you who it is. Or maybe I will put it in the thumbnail, I will see. But yeah, I will talk about Game of Thrones a little bit in this, and also I try two perspectives with this. And I'm super sorry if the side perspective is sometimes a little bit like jumping. I recorded this with my phone, and yeah, let's say I forgot to put in the focus, so it's kind of like trying to focus and sometimes like jumping in and out. I tried to like cut out the parts where it's really bad, but I didn't want to like have everything kind of edited out. Like there are some parts where there isn't this jump, but some parts are like just like really sometimes like here really short jump, but I thought it wouldn't be that bad. I at least hope you don't mind, but I really tried. And yeah, you can see me sketching, you can see me erasing, and gosh, yes, I did erase quite a bit in this one, but you know, it's totally fine, I think. Also, I tried one new sketch pad, I could say. I got it for my birthday from a friend. If you're here on the premiere, thank you. It's really an interesting paper. At first I was a little bit worried that I couldn't really erase with it, but I have to say it worked really well. It has an interesting texture to it, and I'm really serious to try out different mediums on this. But as you can see, it's quite thick. The paper isn't that thick itself, but it's not that like copy paper, really this thin thing. But yeah, it's interesting, and I will use it more often. And let me know in the comments if you want to like sometimes this kind of like, how should I say it? Should I draw more Game of Thrones characters, like for practice of course, and like to talk about the series a bit if you want. But this will be like a little talk video and me just sketching. I didn't like I think I almost had 50 minutes of like recording her, so it's not just hyper realistic. I really tried to draw her just in my style and relax with it and get the likeness of her. But yeah, I sped it up a little bit, not too much, because I wanted this to be more relaxing, not just sped up, but more like you can see my, can I say when I use the pencil, my strokes? Like, you know, the pencil strokes and everything, and how I sketch. And it's always so interesting to see how different artists hold the pencil differently, because often when I look back at my recordings, I see my hand and think, I hold the pencil totally different to a few artists. I know a few that hold the pencil within their index. Is it the index? Like the middle finger in the thumb. And I tried it, and I respect everyone who can do that, but I just got so used to hold the pencil like this that I don't really can, even if I already have a bump on my middle finger because I hold the pencil like this, but you know, it's okay. And yeah, let's start with the chatty part. Not that I didn't like talk already for almost 5 minutes, but you know, the chatty part about Game of Thrones. And yeah, I have to admit, I only finished Game of Thrones around New Year's. Yes, I watched it with my parents because we started it, and I will be honest there, my parents started to watch it, and I was always like, I don't get what the heck you actually like in that. Because always when I was like going on a boat and they were watching it, I was always like shocked how much like how should I say it without getting problems with saying the word, like really intimate body interactions, if you know what I mean. And I was just like, holy moly, what is so interesting in this? I just really like, it's not that I'm how it's called again, like you know, it's not that I'm so shy. Okay, I'm shy, but like I just didn't get it because I was just irritated. What is so interesting in a series that has so much interactions between, you know? And I was like a little bit confused. And even one of my friends that is really prude, I believe the word is prude, and she is kind of prude, and she even like read the books, was reading the books, and even she was watching and reading it, and I was just like shocked. So like I asked her, honestly, like, you know, there's much interaction and everything. She's just like, yeah, I jump over the parts. I don't know if she really does it, but you know, just let it slide. And okay, everyone, like a lot of people that I knew and a lot of people on the internet were like hyping this series, like totally hyping. And one close friend also was like watching it, and she also like, yeah, totally give it a try. My other friend that I told you about that was also reading the books, or is reading the books. I don't know how many books are there, or if they were continued now or not. I don't know. But she was also like, and my parents were like, this series is good, try it. And I was just like, let me alone. Just watch it, I don't care. Just watch it and leave me be. I'm fine, I don't have to watch it. And well, what should I say? After hearing it for... I was really against it for quite some time. Like, when I started to watch it, there were already like 5 or 6 seasons out, so I was against it for a very long time. I didn't want to watch it because I just was like, okay, I understand it's hyped, but do I really have to watch it? And is it something really that you just have to watch? Like, you know, the people that are always like, you have to watch this is so good. And I was just like, okay, after all this time, I will give it a try. And well, let's say I enjoyed it. I was still a little bit shocked about all the things happening in there, like, you know, brother and sister and such, but okay, that was a different time. I mean, it's a fantasy time, but not like back in the times. I'm sure there were a lot of things like that, but it was interesting. It really was. It's not something like, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the series, and gosh, I don't know how many times I cried when I got the favorite character and the favorite character died, and the next favorite character died after it. I was like heartbroken so often that I was like laying with my laptop on my bed and was crying in the middle of the night while watching that episode when someone was like dying, or like more like brought to death. It was just so intense. And yeah, it was interesting. There were really amazing characters, and there are really amazing characters. Some characters that at first I really hated turned out to be one of my favorites, and at the end they still did really bad with them. I don't know if you watch Game of Thrones, and if you have watched it till the end, probably most of the people who started Game of Thrones watched it till the end way faster than me and my family, but yeah. Just if you haven't watched it but you want to watch it, then maybe click out, because I will spoil the end for you otherwise. But yeah, it's like one of the characters that I really hated, and I'm quite glad, even if he was a kid, that he like died, is the prince. Like, oh my gosh, I thought his mother was crazy, and she's crazy, but this kid, I love Tyrion that he slapped him like once or twice, like really hard in the face. I love him for that. And probably that is the reason why most of the people started to like Tyrion. Like, I don't give a you know. And this attitude of him is just like, he's amazing. He's one of the greatest characters that kind of stayed great till the end. Like, as soon as you get to like him, you just really like, he's the best. Because there are some characters that made me a little bit scared or like changed my mind completely, like really completely. Like, if you like take Sansa Stark, it's so funny how this really little girl that always was like weak and everything, she did get really strong, like in a different way to Arya or in a different way to like really this fighting guys and everything, but she got strong on her own way. I mean, she did get through some really troublesome and stupid stuff, like with the guy that was like kind of raping her, and I'm saying this really like not loudly because I don't know how YouTube will react, but he did so many bad things to her, and his end, like his death, was the one that he really deserved. I hated this guy, and I don't even remember his name anymore. Like some people that I just don't remember, and like also not just don't remember, but I also don't know the English name. But there are some characters like Arya that were really amazing from the start, but in between I was a little bit like, I don't know, I was a little bit freaked out by her because she has this interesting character that is kind of like a little bit creepy sometimes in some kind of way, but I also really respected her that she got this strong, like, whoa, small girl but really big, I could say. And one character that I also really like is, of course, Jon Snow, which is actually not the Jon Snow, but you know, whatever. I really liked his character and everything, but I think at the end he kind of got on my nerves. I could understand that he really liked Dany. I think it's cute, even if, you know, again, this is something that shouldn't be allowed and everything, but it just got on my nerves that he was always against, like, I don't want to be king, I don't want to have this, and he would be so perfect. And at the end, what he got was kind of what he deserved, because, you know, if you're pushing against everyone who's like believing in you and you're always like no and what other would he have deserved? He didn't want the throne. He could have had it. He could have had all people around him, even if I think it's good in some kind of way, because he kind of suits the wild people out there. And also what I really hated was, I didn't like Jaime at the beginning, and he got really one of my favorite characters because I felt he just really fell in love with the really, really wrong person, and not just because it's his sister, but it's more like she's so bad and he's actually a really good and kind character, but she's pulling out the worst out of him. And I really like the change of him. You could see that he is actually really, really a good character. And at the end that he was going back to Cersei, I'm just like, I understand it. He loved her. He loved her way too much, but having him go back dying with her, I'm just like, she didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve it. And Brienne, I'm just like so sad for this girl. Like, Brienne really loved him and he deserved this real love. And him going back, I was just like, stupid. I was just like, I really like you, why are you so damn stupid, why did you go back, like really, this, I hated it. And also one of the characters that you can see right here, Khaleesi, or the Targaryen, or the Mother of Dragons. It was amazing how they built up this character. I know in the books she's even like younger and everything, but she was built up so good. And I really liked her character. She was cool, she was tough, she was a small girl, like even in the series she isn't like the oldest one, like, okay, most of the characters are pretty young at the beginning, but she did also go through quite some troubles and everything. She lost her man, and it was tragic and everything, and I really liked her, but with time she kind of pissed me off, and especially at the end. Like, I understood, okay, she wanted this damn throne and everything, she wanted to help people, and I really liked it about her. As soon as she started to be like Cersei, and you can't change my mind, she started to be like Cersei, because if she didn't get her mind, and I know, of course, this is something that has to be, but no, it doesn't have to be, because if you do the same that you're actually against, then you're not better than the other person, or like the person that are making bad things. And I was just like shocked how a character like her could be done so terribly, like especially after she knew who Jon was, and not being a Jon but the Targaryen. I was just like, okay, she's turning crazy, and especially as she started to like pretty much just burn down everyone there, I was like, the people didn't do a thing to you. I mean, burn down Cersei, burn down her like guys that are right next to her, okay, do that, but just like everyone? She even wanted to burn down Jon, probably, and I'm like having a blackout, but no, really, I just didn't get how. I mean, I think I get it. It's an interesting twist, but at the same time, I just hated it so much, because she was a great character. She really tried to do the good thing, but actually, Jon Snow, or like, we know he's not a Jon Snow, but for me it's Jon Snow, made so good. And she also did really good. And I mean, of course, it couldn't have been and everything, because they were like owned and such, but I mean, he didn't want the throne, he didn't want it, and if she didn't go crazy like that, probably everyone would have loved her, but no, she did go crazy and just like burnt up people alive. It's like, I don't know, I wouldn't want a queen like her either, and it's just really sad. And the end was just like, one friend described it good, like Bran was really like this interesting thing that could look into the future, but also in the past, I believe, and he kind of knew what was coming. So I know you can't really tell what is coming, because it will change the future, I believe, but still it was just like crazy. Yeah, that's the reason I'm here. Of course I will be the king and everything, and I'm just like, it's an interesting ending. I don't completely hate it. I know some people did, but I'm sorry, but I can't really say that I'm really happy with it either, because I'm just like, there are so many amazing characters that were just like done terribly. Dany was done terribly at the end. Jamie was stupid to go back, even if I understand it. Okay, he loved her, but still, I think Brienne deserved better, even if she did get at least to be a knight and everything. It's still like, at least I'm happy that Tyrion is alive, even if he lost both of his siblings, his father, and pretty much all of his family. But, well, that's life. That's life if you live in Game of Thrones. Especially, I'm just shook. I'm shocked, to be honest. I kind of pushed back watching it, and also my family was like pushing it back because we heard on the internet and everywhere that the ending wasn't like the fans wanted it to be, and I was just like, okay. And I also spoiled myself a little bit, thanks to the internet. You know, you shouldn't watch a series this pushed back if you know you're going on to the internet. So I knew a few things, but I didn't know that it was going to be like this. It's hard. I don't get it. Let me know in the comments or in the chat if you watched it and what do you think of it. Also let me know what do you think about the sketch here. Would you like to see something like this more often? And also, do you like these two perspectives? Which do you like more, from above or from the side? Yeah, I'm just really interested because I will try more often to do something like this when I do traditional art. Because in digital art, you know, you get the all clothes and everything, you see the sketching. But in traditional I don't tend to make this, and I'm really trying to have different like angles and everything. And yeah, I'm trying also to just make chatty videos, like with series and such. If you have a series, then let me know in the comments. If I have watched it or know it, then we can talk about it. We can also talk more about Game of Thrones, and if you want, like, this series was crazy. It was amazing and crazy at the same time. I think it's really sad that they didn't go in more about the wolves. Like, you know, this like Ghost and such. I mean, most of them died. I think only 2 were living at the end, and Ghost is at the end with Jon, so it's good. But at the same time, I'm just like, it's sad that they died. So, like, it's a good symbolic because, like, the Stark family was wolves in some kind of way, but at the same time, it's really, really sad. And I think it was really done great that some characters that you didn't like, you started to like, and some characters that you liked, you started to hate, or you just don't like the end for them. But it made me emotional for sure in some episodes, like some, I mean, they had enough seasons to have me crying for quite some time. But yeah, I think the end, I would love to see different endings for this. If they ever do this, like for How I Met Your Mother, different endings, oh gosh, I could talk about How I Met Your Mother so much too. So let me know in the comments if you want to, like, hear me go on how much I love this series and how much I started to hate it when I've seen the end. It's like, the title isn't good, the title is bad. I'm still bitter about it. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, then please leave a like, and if you want to see more like this, then subscribe for more, share this video if you want. Let us talk about Game of Thrones, and also if you want to support me, I have a Ko-fi and I have a Patreon. You can support me for only $1 or €1 already, if you want to, if you can. It's nothing that you like have to do. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I really hope I will see you in the next video then, and see you then. Bye bye.